nice.
I'm starting to lose consciousness.
Oh, he's starting to disappear again. Oh no.
So if you're listening to this, just do what you want. We did it, so you can get away with it.
Forget what they're telling you in the hokey fucking art fucking film school.
Set a bigger challenge for ourselves to try make something.
Venture into the unknown.
Exactly.
I don't know if this is even going to work.
Yes.
Is it going to be shy?
Yeah, well, like I was saying to Emer the other day, I was like, I'm finally fucking doing it.
Yeah. That's what we all feel like now, I think. Is it? We're finally fucking doing it. Because
okay. All right, cool. Here we are once again doing another podcast. I will get better at this, maybe. It wasn't so bad last time. It wasn't insufferable, someone told me. So here we are once again.
Once you weren't insufferable.
It was good.
She didn't actually watch the whole thing, but maybe she watched it soon.
It's a bad
But anyway,
thing.
well, lads, we're back. We are here outside today because we are doing a podcast that is Outer Heaven special. And in the theme and style of Outer Heavens, we're out in, outside with a big light on it. That's how it works, isn't it? So, yeah, that's the intro, I suppose.
Yeah, and I've worn my suit for this is kicking off the Outer Heavens press tour.
This is the press tour. Calvin's going to wear a suit every day now until he gets an Oscar.
The first leg of the press tour.
Yeah.
To get that big deal.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
boots.
It's a good look though,
White
man.
socks.
I remember when we were in college, you toyed with the idea. We both toyed with an idea of wearing a suit every day, and then you said to me, I was like, I'm going to wear a suit every day, and you were like, yeah, but what are you going to wear when like you have to go somewhere nice? Like, that's what you said to me.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, what differentiate? But in my head, it was just like, just wear it. What kind of inspires you, Calvin, on a day-to-day basis? I was thinking about this on the way. What makes you want to make things?
Oh.
Maybe a bit too deep. I don't know. I
I
start.
think I know. Well, I was thinking this today. I just like making things, right? Sometimes, even if you're just, I just like the process of making something, especially video. Mostly video. I wouldn't really make anything else. I wouldn't do any paintings or drawings. I don't find that as fulfilling. But yeah, videos. If I'm doing something, I like the process of thinking, what would that be then, like finding the area, then video, and it maybe I'm doing something and then editing it and colouring it up, and even if it's a bit shit, I just kind of like doing that. So kind of I don't know, maybe that inspires me, the process of doing that.
Yeah. Right, what about you?
I think recently just the momentum of things is inspiring me.
Yeah, cool.
So
these are super deep answers. I thought I was hoping for you to say like a music or a tree or something.
I had the opportunity to think about it there when he was talking, but I'm in a good flow at the minute. Cool. So I wake up, I go for a walk. I wake up, I read, I go for a walk, I come back, make breakfast, and then I write.
Nice.
So that's the first bit of work I do.
Cool.
And I feel like that I've done this a few times over the years, and I've broken the cycle, and then I stop all the creativity.
Okay.
And so I think the momentum, I don't know if that is inspiration, but there's a part of it. But today I did feel a little bit uninspired, and I put on the David Lynch masterclass.
Oh yeah.
And I listened to it while I was doing my breakfast, and then that gave me a boost of inspiration.
Yeah, cool. We're here to talk about Outer Heavens, which is Calvin Doyle's first feature-length narrative film. Calvin, why did you want to make this? Wait, remember when we used to interview you said, tell me this.
Tell me this. Tell me this. Yeah,
tell me this. No, but based off our conversation the other day, when you're telling someone else, why did you want to make a film? Why did you want to make this film?
Yeah. All right. Well, we were always making films, right? We're doing it since we left college. So, first film we did was Live Psychic in 2015, was it? And then we made a good few after that, and we kept making them up until we were about 2019 maybe. 2018 was probably the last one. 2017.
2018 was the Bird Story and all.
Bird Story and all them. Anyway, we were making the movies, and then I only found that book the other day that I was telling you about, that I showed you.
Your notebook.
My notebook. I had this notebook where really intensively studying film. So I forgot how much we were putting into it. Like, you know, you kind of forget that stuff, because now I think we just, we just went out and make the movies, or we just went out and made them, but we didn't. We were doing it for like a long time. But anyway, along the process of doing all those films, I always remember I was kind of obsessed with people's ages and what they had done at a certain age. So I'd be like, I have to make, no matter what, right, I have to have a feature film done by the time I'm 34 or 35, I think it was. And I kind of set that goal then. And anyway, then we stopped making movies because basically I had no money. So I was like, I better start making some money. So we started working, and time rolled on. And then all of a sudden, I think I was like 33, and then the Beatles documentary came out. No, well, first of all, you had made Millie's Maxall Magic.
Yeah, which I felt like was the catalyst for everything going back to like normal almost.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like I just made this for the crack and nothing else. And then everyone else is like, we used to do this.
Yeah, we used to make stuff. Because that was the first thing that you had made as well then. Like, since then, really, too, right? Yeah. And I remember you were like, I made this. And then we sat and watched the whole thing. And then when we were watching it and we're talking about it, and we're kind of editing. Oh, no, we weren't even. You would have done, right?
Not really even editing it, because I was like, I don't even know if this is like a thing, or what do you think I should do to fix it? And you're like, nothing.
Yeah, we said nothing. Yeah, but when I watched that, then I was like, I felt unreal doing it. Like, I hadn't done that, and so I forgot that was a big part of our lives. And then I was like, I need to make something. But then you had also made
The Rising of the Moon.
Rising of the Moon.
Yeah, it came like quite close after that, because I feel like that maybe inspired to do more like things that weren't just work. Like,
art. It was like, we can do art again. I forgot. Anyway, then I was watching the Beatles documentary shortly after that came out, and I was like, look at the crack they're having. And I was like, why are we not doing this? And then I was like, I remember I said by the time I was 35 we'll make the movie. And I was 33, I think. And then I was just like, well, better start making a movie then, because I know how long it'd take. It was going to take fucking ages. So I was like, I didn't even have anything written. I didn't really have any ideas. I kind of had ideas that we had from years and years ago. Even looking through that old book, there's a lot of this stuff has come up again. But I was like, I better start writing it. So, and then I was like, that was it then. We started writing it, and
but see, at the start of that, you were writing something else. First.
So when we started writing it, right, so I was like, right, I'll do it, like, I'll write it in a month. I bet you I can write it in a month. And one thing that had happened is when we were doing movies years ago, when we started out, I had felt like I had kind of drifted into a thing where I was like thinking I had to make everyone feel a certain thing, and then playing with the idea of it being like your career, I guess, and then I was like, the only way you could make money out of this is if we make like those kind of engineered movies, you know, like we'll feel this now and do this, and this is what this means, and everyone has to understand. And you kind of be like, I remember when I was writing stuff, and this is kind of another time I kind of stopped as well, is writing stuff and saying, what does that make you feel? When I was asking people, you know, and then it was like, it just wasn't fun at all. To do
ruined
that.
The crack of it.
Yeah, it was no fun. I was like, this is kind of just like work. It's like not art anymore, because film is kind of weird. Like, there is a line between, are you making art or are you making a film, like, you know, or what, I don't know what you would call it. Maybe there's an art side and a kind of manufactured side of it. And but yeah, so I went in and started writing another film, and I was doing I had read David Lynch loads. I was looking up loads of David Lynch stuff, but I remember his writing process. I thought it was interesting because it was writing 70 scenes on cards. So I was like, I definitely can come up with 70 scenes, right? I definitely have 70 scenes, but I don't have, like, I can't write a script from start to finish. So I started writing out all these scenes. Now I had like some mad shit, like it was gone crazy. It was real crazy. It was like turned into this big massive film, and then I started being like, how the fuck are we going to make this? Like, this is going to be impossible. But then you were on about the Fluffer film. Mm-hmm. So you had written years ago, right?
It was the same Bird Story time. 2018, I think. I think I was still in college when I wrote The Fluffer, and then it was like fucking 5 years after that. And it was, the Bog Monster was a New Year's resolution, but so was the Fluffer film a New Year's resolution. And I think just one day I was like, will you help me make this fucking Fluffer thing? Remember we all liked the Fluffer film. I remember when
years ago we liked it, but we never could make it.
No, I was trying to get like an actor to do it, and nobody would do it. I was like emailing old guys, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they were like, this
is vulgarity. So I asked you to help me with it, and we just went off one day and met it in like 2 hours, and then
and the way we met it was like we just knew all the locations around, right? And then the character that was in the film is just a mask. Me and Ryan used to do these two characters called Captain Lou and Pisshead originally. Yeah. And we'd put on masks and just act like old guys.
Dirty.
And and it was good crack doing it. It was kind of developed those characters. But anyway, when we made that, then I was like, we could probably just, because it did only take about 2 hours.
I think it dawned on us as well when we were doing it. We're like, oh yeah, we can act in it and stuff. We didn't. Did we not know that before? Yeah. I think.
Well, I didn't think I could act in it because until I was like, oh, what if I wore the mask?
Yeah.
I knew I could do that, but I didn't think I could. Like, if I wrote a character, I'd be like, I don't think I could act as a character in the fucking thing. But then I was like, we could be those characters. So then I was like, right, fuck it, maybe these scenes that I had, I was like, maybe I'll mesh it around differently now because we have the two characters. And then I started to write some stuff got to do with those characters, and I don't know, I just kept writing it, kept editing it. And one of the main things I was trying not to do was, like before, was to try and make it mean anything. I was like, look, like the thing, I obviously had got older before writing, but I was like, like life is quite messy, right? And I'm like nothing in life has to make sense. Like, it doesn't, like, you don't be like, this happens here, that's why that happened. A lot of the thing is like, why did they do that, or why did that happen? And just, people always just say, well, it just is what it is. And it's kind of like, I want to do something like that because it's very stressful to it's like writing it that way is the opposite of stressful. It's like really freeing because you're not like trying to say something that the audience has to get. You're kind of like leaving it open so that the audience can fucking get involved in it and start creating the story as well. But when I was like, I don't even fully know the meaning of why certain things happen, but that really excited me then, because like the creative process then was like this really exciting thing where I'm like, yeah, I wonder what that means. And then I'd be like, remember that scene we wrote at the start? Look at this scene here, scene 52. There's a weird link in it, isn't there? And then everyone's like, yeah, that's fucked up. And so that was it though. But then in the space of 30 days, I think we had it. I don't know if I sent it to you until I had it done, did I?
I don't think after a while. I find that mad writing it in 30 days. 70 scenes, that seems like a dawn to me anyway. But like,
but basically, no, in fairness, right, I actually literally did just a big brain dump.
Yeah.
I'd always thinking of scenes. I remember,
it's like most things that you've kind of collected over the last 10 and 15 years.
Weren't you writing a Captain Lou and Pisshead series before?
Yeah, we had actually written that's true, actually.
I just remember that as you were talking.
We had wrote a full series pilot episode.
Yeah, because we made that one in Athlone that time, remember?
Yeah. The one that we made in Athlone was kind of like a
improv.
Because I remember we sat down and then I said, we had some dialogue wrote, and then you said whatever your one thing was, which was the first thing, and then I said to you, what do I say? And then you said, you fucking wrote it. Whatever the dialogue was. But I remember I was writing dialogue, and then you were writing like a narrative series, and it was like you had like a few episodes.
Yeah, I think we did like 2 or 3 episodes, had them written, and I went back and found them, and then I cut some of them. Some of that is actually in the movie now, but originally when I was doing that, I couldn't think of another way, and it was kind of like the original series that we were going to do. I had this idea of doing like a mockumentary of it. Kind of like the Trailer Park Boys or something.
Yeah.
But when I returned to the filmmaking world, I just really didn't want to do that. I wanted to make a serious kind of film.
Because isn't the mockumentary thing a little bit just trying to do the other thing what you were saying you don't want to do? You're kind of like trying to frame it.
How do I get people to sit comfortably with this and understand what it is, like, and they'll feel better if it's a mockumentary rather than be like, I don't know why they've got massa.
So then when you come back to it with your new mindset, you're like able to let actually... Because it's kind of like the mockumentary thing is like, I can't just let that be the scene where they're doing the things. It has to be framed from a person who's not mad or something. And then when you went back with your new mindset of like, you don't have to make anything be anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like less confident to be what it is like. Yeah. Because you're like, if it's this, then it won't. That's why it's like that.
Or it's like maybe people won't get it if it's not in this set.
Yeah, that was probably originally it.
Yeah,
like,
originally.
They wouldn't really understand.
Yeah.
It has to be something.
Yeah.
It has to be in a genre of some sort.
Yeah.
So the only one that I can see it fitting in is like a mockumentary.
Yeah. Which is funny because then it should because if you set out to just write a mockumentary, then it would be a mockumentary. Do you know that kind of way? And that's kind of like you should never try and force one of those things on top of it. Like,
yeah, and it's just interesting to see the graduation of the idea. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my keyword for I think the graduation of the idea.
The idea has graduated.
The texture is graduated.
But and the other thing as well is I think part of me was like, think like doing a mockumentary. I know I could do that as well.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I know we could do that with relative ease.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe we'll set a bigger challenge for ourselves to try and make something.
Venture into the unknown.
Exactly. Yeah. The unknown, man. I was only thinking about this today. I was like,
I don't know if this is even going to work.
Yes.
Is it going to be shite? Is it going to be good? Will it, that is it.
No, and that's like, you know that, like when I'm talking about the writing process, that's also the unknown as well. Like leaving gaps. People like that, you see. People like the unknown.
Oh yeah, tell us, why does everyone wear a mask in it?
Yeah.
What's the meaning of that?
So there is no meaning, right? It was for the purpose of making the film, right? Well, it wasn't like trying to do that. That just kind of came organically from what we were saying about the two characters. But then you're like, obviously, you're like, how do we make a film with two guys wearing masks?
We want two old men, but we can't get them.
Yeah, two old men, but also, it's quite obvious that they're masks, right? It's not like it's...
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I remember, one thing that just made me be like, no, that I'm going to sit with that decision. Let's just fucking fire ahead with it, was the Muppets Christmas Carol. That's like one of my favourite movies. Did I talk about this last week on it? No. So James Caan said in the Muppets Christmas Carol that the reason that the movie is so good is that he didn't treat the Muppets like Muppets. He treated them like real actors. And he played the role serious. Like, he didn't play it as a joke.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll just fucking fire ahead, play it serious.
Yeah. And that filters through though as well, because like if anyone else was to be like, we're going to wear a mask, everyone would be like, everyone's going to know their masks. Like, but you just never even treated it as if they were wearing masks. Like, I wrote down something there that I was like, style from necessity, and I think that's really like cool about it. It was like the style of all that came from like the necessity of like saying when you try to do the fluffer with the dialogue and stuff, then you just couldn't get an older actor man who was on a low enough like budget for you to get right, but also they didn't want to ruin like their potential career because like they were going to say things they would like people be so shocked by, they were trying to, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of like what Brian was talking about that time. It's like we're the only people who could have made that be like that and have the mask. Like no one would actually have made that decision otherwise, like other than necessity.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, like in just wanting to make the thing, and then like obviously then not letting those things defer you from making it, because all of those things could have easily stopped us from making it, and we'd probably still be sitting around here now going, we must make that film. And then you'd be saying that real annoying thing, I have this thing, bro, and I'm getting ready to make it now, I'm still kind of working on it, I don't want to know about that. I want to just make the thing. So we just like, it's obviously it was nearly because of the urgency of needing to make it that you're like, right, well, that's what we'll just do, and we'll just run with those things. But you're completely right, like with the style out of necessity.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Very
It's
nice.
very good.
Quotability is off the charts.
But that is like so true in the way it's shot and the cinematography of it, like that. You know, like the decisions that was made to shoot it came down to that we only had 3 days to shoot it.
Yeah, because I was going to talk about, like, you know, the day that we were on the phone for like a couple hours talking about, like, we went through the whole script and we said, okay, this is how we're going to plan to shoot this over 3 days with like multiple people and different locations, and saying, well, if we had more time we'd probably do it like this, but we don't actually. So it's like, let's start. So what we did was we we talked through like basically a visual rule book that we applied to each of the scenes so that we could do them really efficiently, and then no messing in terms of being like, well, what if we put it over here, put it there. We came up with like 3 basically different shots, which are, you know, standard in like making things anyway, like a wide, a close-up or whatever. We went for like a kind of super wide higher up, and then a kind of closer wide, and then a close-up as well, and then we just applied each of those things to it, and that was the only way we could have shot a film like that. And then also the camera doesn't move, it has to be static all the time, whereas if the camera's moving there's too much to try and like figure out there then, do you know what I mean? Like, even when we made the bog monster, you've seen how much time and messing goes into like, oh, what if we ran this way or did this or whatever. And again, that adds to the style of it being like more like a play, like that it's on a like on a stage. And then that even kind of informed how it was going to be lit then, because, you know, we were going to be out at night similar to like this, and you know, that it's kind of the opposite of what you might do at nighttime, is to just put a big unnaturally unmotivated light on the characters. Like, it's not motivated by anything other than we need to make them bright enough to be able to see them. So it's like, that's the whole thing becomes style from necessity. Like, it's great. Like,
I did because we were talking about the masks, did the masks influence any of the shooting style?
Yeah, because I suppose that as well, right? Because then I was going to say, like, because the dubbing is like, you know, we didn't have like a sound person to do any sound on the day, so we said, well, if we shoot it from far enough away and we dub it bad, no one will be able to tell. Like, so, and then the masks also kind of hide a lot of the face, so it's we just make it a lot easier to build, make it really, if we shot it further away.
But the masks and the way it's shot, and also the way we act, does kind of like create a world where they are people, like they're not masks. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's all those things are so. All those things came out of like something that you never could put them together. You could never be like, these are the things. That's what I mean. They just all happened because they had to happen like that. Because even like I know that I'm saying that all the from necessity, but still there is like stylistic choices in that stuff. Like, you know, like what lenses we used, and you know, about doing the lights like that. There wasn't just because like we had never seen something like that. They were all taken from kind of influences and stuff, but they do like feed into like the feeling that we were trying to get as well. Like, because even though when we were talking very specifically, when we were talking about the wide angle stuff, I always liked that it would look like a stage show, but I also liked that there was a kind of a standoffish from all the characters. Do you know what I mean? Like, you were kind of watching, you know, like as if you were watching it like a voyeur from kind of far away. You never really got in on top of them or seen over their shoulder or anything like that, really. Do you know, whilst they were talking to someone, so you were always kind of looking at it from the outside as if you were looking at another world. And I think that all seeps into that feeling of it being like a different planet. Like,
Yeah, and I think as well, like the willingness to be open to, first of all, do it, because, well, like obviously we didn't have any money to make it, so we were all really at peak, like, do what the fuck we want level, right?
Yeah.
So if we're working on it, we're going to really try to do what we want with it, and make something that we want to make, because like that was our, well, I guess that was our payment for doing it, right? To make something that we really wanted to make. But then, like, let's say when we did the test shoot, I think when we all saw what it looked like, we were like, fuck, whoa. And then we doubled down on that as well, because we were kind of like, you know, this world that looks like let's really start to enhance this. That's what, as well, then when we went deeper with the decisions of certain things with it, to really, I guess, like that was the start of the world being built, and it just grew and grew the more we put onto it. And I think another thing as well that we really liked about another thing that was down to us only having 3 days was that we had to do really long takes. Like, but what I really liked about long takes is particularly the far away ones. You know, like if, say, a character's walking in or doing something, I feel like normally in a film what you would do then is zoom in on what they're doing and, oh look, you know, they're doing the thing with it. But I felt like, and this comes from like an acceptance of it is what it is going to be, right? But I felt like when it's far away and they're doing something, it just makes you kind of like, like, what are they doing?
That's what I mean. It's like you're watching it, like you're watching it rather than maybe being in it or something. And I think maybe that's even more immersive than like, you know, being actually in it is like actually watching it as if you've seen it, you know, then you're sitting looking at something, you know? Very interesting.
And we did really want to make a kind of immersive kind of atmosphere. Like that's one thing we were talking about, where we're just gonna like, and do it a little bit slower than you normally would. Now, like, and like, I know we're saying that we like it. Now, there's obviously a small audience of people that would really like that style, but I felt like even in the editing process when you're doing it, felt so peaceful to put the thing together.
But like, even I remember reading the script, that like the world was evident on the page. Like, it was like it read really well. I remember I read it, I was like, holy shit, that's and the interesting thing about that is like the only way you're saying that you're not trying to make a film be something or have someone understand something, but that's like your most like sound narrative thing ever. You know, there's like a real rich and it probably works so well because you're not like being like this film means this. It just is what it is.
It's like a not being insecure with or kind of pretentious with. I try to remove all that because I've suffered from that before, and then you put out something like, oh Jesus Christ,
damn it. It kind of just because if you're trying to do something that will probably never really meet that expectation, then you always kind of feel like that about it, right?
The other thing as well about the theatrical thing was that me and you were talking about, Connor, with the way it was shot. Was that we were like, wouldn't it be cool where, like, you know, when you're watching the play and it's like something to walk in, to do the thing, then they walk off. Like, we did that a lot in it.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's something that's like just again like very unique and very interesting to watch, and it's something that you don't really see that much. Like, you know, it's fun to play with that, I think. Even though none of us have like any theatre experience or like really even go to the theatre that much, like, but I think it's just just very unique and fun. I don't know what I'm saying.
But it's great to do that, because then after the test shoot when we did it, we were like, this is like really old, looks like an old movie, so let's push on with that.
I think a lot of, actually, that's a good point, because I think a lot of the film actually could be described as like classic Hollywood or something, not like in that kind of you know like big-headed sort of way, but it uses like a lot of kind of old school tricks in it to do things. Like, so even when we did the close-ups, then we just did them on a black screen. You know, that's something that you might have seen in like a Hollywood film where they might have did their like wide shots on a location, and then they do their close-ups like in a studio with a fake backdrop, and it was like, we're very obviously showing like this is like not there, but we're embracing that and like keeping it like that also. And I think there was another thing that I was thinking earlier that was kind of an example of that as well, but yeah, I can't remember.
Well, one of my real favourite things about it as well was the fact that we were saying, because of the 3-day shoot as well, so how are we going to get this done, that we were like, we can only do 1 or 2 takes per per scene. And we were like, if the only time we can do 2 takes is if it's really shit.
Yeah. Did we ever do that?
I think we did 1 or 2 takes, and say maybe we completely fucked up something. But most of the whole film is
one shot.
One shot.
Yeah, and or one take. But there's something that people, I don't know, I think, like, and we've talked about this before, the energy is fucking gone. Like, I feel like even if you get into the second take sometimes, and the first one was good enough or great or whatever, then by the time you're in the second one and the third one, it's fucked. Like, unless it's like I said, it's really shit. Like you could just feel the energy being sucked out of it, whereas like the momentum and trying to do it that fast, like, really like builds on, and everyone just kind of seems to flow like a lot better, like, do you know?
Yeah. And I hate when you've got it, and then someone's like, let's do another one.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, we have it. It's
it ruins it though. It's just, it ruins the whole vibe and feeling that everyone who's working on it's got, because you're like, why are we even bothering doing this again? Like,
I thought you were going to be like trying to antagonize me behind the scenes and keep me awake for a few days, coming up to the tense scenes. You know what I mean? Like, keep pushing me and pushing me. Yeah.
No. I think because I like in that classic Hollywood thing, but it's not even that. It's almost like a simplicity to like making things, like really like lo-fi DIY stuff again, where it's like, I was thinking about, that is what I was going to say, is like, even the ghosts and stuff, it was like, how are we gonna make ghosts? We put a sheet over a person. That's how we make a ghost. You know what I mean? It's like, that feels like something they might have did in like 1940s Hollywood,
100%.
but it's also something that kids do when they're out playing in the back garden, and there's something really class about that.
Yeah, but like that as well though. I remember around that time I watched a few Jimmy Stewart films, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anatomy of a Murder, right?
Yeah.
And this is very egotistical, but the acting is like classic Hollywood.
Yeah. Like,
but like, what I mean,
I am a bit like Jimmy Stewart.
What I mean by that is, I feel like, right before they did the scenes with him, they were like, okay, Jimmy, in this scene you're just really angry, and so he goes and he's like, oh well, God damn it, see there, Susan, I can't, why ain't you got the paper, Susan? And right, and that's kind of what we were like. We were like just like not over intellectualizing it. Go away. I just acted like it is. Like no method. It wasn't method.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lot of it was like agendaless. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, there's another. I'm already consciously thinking of another level of this. It's like you said. It's like, you're angry in this scene. Okay, right. Yeah. You're gonna fight him now in this scene. It's like, just be angry in that.
In a good way, it's like your first instinct. Do you know, like sometimes they say a bad thing, is like, oh, that was his first idea or whatever, but it's like, don't overthink it, just be angry.
Isn't that kind of like the one like doing it in one take as well, though? It's kind of, that's just the first instinct of like what it kind of should be, and unless it's like really wrong, then it's probably good enough.
Yeah, it's like I felt like, I think I remember though going in and being like, right, I don't give a fuck about any big scenes.
Yeah.
Like before, I'd be like, when I was younger and I'd write something, I'd be like, this is the big scene.
This is the climax.
I'd be like, fine, do it again.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, this is fucking shit. Why are you not making, this is meant to be the big scene.
Yeah.
But something in me was like, I remember being like, no, there's no big scene. It's the movie. We need to make the fucking movie. Like, it's not this one thing. It's a bigger sum of parts, or whatever the fuck you call that.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like what you're talking about with that, like, I do feel like, because we were okay with that, because we were not actors, we were like, whatever. But I felt like when Niamh and Dennis were there, like, they'd do a scene, I'd be like, right, Grant, that's done. And I felt like they might have been like, well, can I do another one? Like, no.
No.
What time is it? What time is it? No, that's good enough. It wasn't shit, wasn't it? No, let's go with it.
That was pretty not shit.
Tell us about Neve and Dennis.
Yeah, Neve
Since
and
we're
Dennis.
here chatting, we may shout them out to the two
out.
legends that have been long-time collaborators also.
You can put a picture of them here.
Right there. Right here.
No, but we've been working with Neve and Dennis for... I first worked with them on a music video in Mayo. And then I kind of was trying to make this sort of a pilot, maybe a web series years ago. And we did it with them, and it was largely improvised, sort of, that was as well. And
but they were up for the crack, that's what.
They were great crack with, and what I think I learned a lot from that as well, because I realised that you can just get, like, when we shot that web series pilot, it was called Plastic Wings, right? And I'd written a character for Dennis, and it was not meant to be funny, but he was really gas in it. Like, when I was watching it, and then when he's doing it, I couldn't stop laughing at him. Yeah. But then because we only had that time as well, for some reason I just was like, we only have one day to do this, and I was just like, sure, it has to be, this is what it is now. But I also do remember on the day being like, this is fucking hilarious. So like, you kind of learned a lot from that. But and then we did Icky Gaggy with them, which was a short film between the two, and that was really good. The two of them had they have really good chemistry together, but I actually don't think they did a scene together in Outer Heavens. Oh god. But Icky Gaggy was brilliant, and that was the same thing. It just let the two of them roll a conversation. I wrote out a sort of a type of a conversation in a pub. These two people have a clash of characters, but the two of them brought it to a new level with that, and that really inspired me, because when we made Icky Gaggy, it's just a conversation, and when I played at film festivals, people would always be like, they kind of giggle at it a little bit, and that was it. Whereas the other short films were films, yeah.
And this was a waiting room.
But I always remember, this is like a waiting room. But I always remember when we did Icky Gaggy, I was like, I wish I could see what they would have, else those guys would have done.
Yeah.
They got up and went somewhere and that. So that really pushed me on to do it. But yeah, when I wrote this, I was like, I need two other actors. And I was like, well, that's who I'll get to do it.
Yeah, because what I was going to say is, with Neve and Dennis, because I think they might be kind of rare as actors as well, right? Because they fit into our kind of thinking and the way that we do things, like, really well. They're very open and, like, not too scared about, like, the almost vagueness of maybe, like, some actors might be like, what do I need to say, when do I need to say it, whatever. They're like they're kind of like us a little bit, in terms of, like, we'll kind of roll with what's going, and we'll help create the thing as it's kind of, it's going out. So I think, like, I don't think that's probably what you get with like a lot of actors anyway. I think they probably fit in really well to our, like, the energy that they bring is out, like,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, the really good energy, and then in conversations that you'd have with them, I find both of them inspiring as well, like, and they're really interested in, like, the way we've made things, because we kind of create a process of, and they were a big part of that process of, like, the acting in it that we had developed for our head, and that we knew we could do it in a take or two. It wasn't just, like, out of the blue. Like, they had helped develop that big over time, the years too. So, like, it's big. They're a big inspiration to the film. Big time,
because then they kind of, like, they have, like, confidence in the whole thing as well. Like, I feel like maybe if you approach some other actors, they might be kind of scared to be like, I don't know what these lads are doing. Whatever.
No thanks.
Yeah.
That's shy.
This sounds terrible. 3 days.
Yeah. No, definitely two legends. Okay. We'll just talk a little bit about actually making it and the days that we made it. Any great stories there? Tell us about, like, the final scene there, Ryan, when Sean Kiley was punching you. You were a ghost. You were punching him. You laid a few punches into him.
So
punching extras.
Contrary to what I was saying earlier, I am method. I am a classically trained actor.
Okay.
I was doing what James Caan was doing. He was acting. They were real people,
ghosts.
real ghosts.
Yeah.
But our good friend Sean Kiley, he had just got like a nose job or something, right?
And because he thought he was going to be in the film, he got a nose job. And then I told him he's not in it.
Put the sheet over your head.
Yeah, credit union loan at $25,000.
$25,000.
Tiny nose.
And he just got in the way of a haymaker. Boom, right in the kisser.
Well, yeah, the bit of background to that scene is, so at the end of the film there's a lot of ghosts, right? And Calvin put out a call on Facebook, of all places, probably, to be like, here, we're making a film, and if you want to be a ghost, we need as many ghosts as we can get. So, wow, we had about 30 ghosts, did we?
Yeah, there was about 30 people showed up. That's another thing about, like, it's nuts how many, because I hate asking people to do anything, especially for free.
Yeah.
And like, I asked all of you to do everything for free for the film. That was the hardest thing nearly. So obviously, but then I was like, because then we had to get 30 ghosts, and I was like, oh god, how are we gonna get 30 ghosts? And then, but yeah, I put a call out, and it was like pretty relatively simple. Loads of people were messaging, can I be in it? Can I be in it?
Yeah, again, part of like the crack element and like the energy and stuff that people are like, this is like, we want to play at this, so we want to come and play with you guys, because it's like, we're just acting like kids, I suppose.
The community spirit.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there was a big community spirit around it, though, right? In fairness.
Yeah, there was.
Brian, we put more stuff on that fire.
Will it go, do you think? Or?
Yeah, go on there.
I was saying the last time, I don't mind. I don't have a set thing of what I want the film to be. Yeah. And because you were coming in with things, and I don't mind that. But that's because they were good ideas.
Yeah. But if there was a bad one, then anyone you could just say, I think that's actually. You know what? I don't even feel like, and that brings us into what we're going to talk about next. But I don't even really think that any of us would ever go, that's a shite idea. They just filter out. They filter out, super, like, very naturally. Like, no one has to go, we may sit down with Ryan now and tell him this is not a good idea. It's just like they they filter out and that's what's really good about our little collective of people that we have who make stuff now. We have a whole team of complete weirdos and freaks who are doing this for very different reasons to most other people these days, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, that's
we've gone super smoky.
Oh, we're getting smoky here. Again, even more mysterious.
It's getting more outer heavens as it goes.
But that's like that one thing, you know, like, because obviously the film is like this DIY, no budget fucking what would you call it? I don't know, wonder, right? And then a lot of the time I find
I can disappear.
You die.
But we were saying this the last day as well. It's like sometimes I'd be saying to people, but you can just go out and make these things. But like, you know, you can't just. Well, you can, look, but
you have to find the people.
You have to find the right people, and I think the more you put yourself out to make the things, you find the people, and that's like what happened with Outer Heavens. Obviously, like, if I didn't know all of ye, I wouldn't have been able to make it at all. Like, even the fact that you were willing to shoot Connor, and then you were like, I only have 3 days. Like, I don't think the film would have been what it was if we didn't have a 3-day limit. And then Ryan, when you were like, I sent it to Ryan. I think it was finished kind of. And then I sent it to you, and I had gaps for your dialogue for the character. But the dialogue that Ryan did is like some of my favourite pieces in the film. And then, like, even I think when we started acting some things out, you were talking about daddy all the time. You kept saying this daddy thing that's not in the script. But while we were shooting it, we were kind of just like, let's just keep going with that, because we had developed the thing. Like you said, the unknown, Connor. We were like, what's this daddy thing? Who's daddy? Because around here, like in Laois, like in Offaly, in Port Arlington, basically, what we think is really funny is that grown men call their parents mammy and daddy. Like, they could be like 60 and they'd be like, oh, daddy used to tell me this. And we just put it in. Ryan put it in. And then it kind of, the unknown thing started happening, and it actually developed the storyline. But that's because we went with it on the day, and we're like, fuck it, that sounds good, let's just do that.
And then I was actually kind of thinking about this as well, is Captain Lou and Pisshead originally were vulgar, like absolute vulgarity, and so like everything that came out of their mouth was filth, and it's kind of like really crude. But then, like, I think all that the story and then the dialogue and then like the daddy thing as well, kind of pushed him into a zone where, because I think even for a while in the script some dirty stuff was still in it, but I think it kind of like naturally had to be pushed out because a niceness had developed into it, and so they became nice characters then after all.
But that's the kind of filtering out type thing, because probably at no point did you say we need to not have them. Or maybe you did, but you probably never went, they can't say this anymore because they're not like that.
No, it was like a feeling we got. Remember we talked about I think we both been thinking that as well. And then we just felt, we're like, we don't like this vulgar thing or this crudeness. Yeah. It's not nice.
So this were like a big unique like part of like all of us, and then and the extended kind of people who are making these things is like really unique as well. And like what you were saying the other day about like it's very rare to find that with people to work with, and if you ever worked with anyone who wasn't that, you really feel it like right away, where you're like, this is
it's
not
awful
right.
You're right, actually. Like I've worked with people before, and whoa, they must
finish up.
They know the podcast. I'm getting scared out here.
Station road, boys.
But when you're working with other people, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to have to sit down and have a chat with them about this now or something. Like, that's a horrible feeling, but I've never had that with any either.
No, that's
only with your drinking.
My pornography addiction.
On set.
I'm never not looking at.
And kept talking about it when you're doing the acting.
This is a slight little segue, but it's in the territory. The original Captain Lou and Pisshead, when the Holy God was in its birth, I remember when it premiered on YouTube, I was in Emer's home house.
Oh God!
and
it's really vulgar, by the way.
It's very dirty. And
oh God, that's right.
There's like their house is like a lovely big open plan house.
You weren't going out that long, is that
probably
right?
like 2 years maybe.
Oh right.
And then
down the hall.
And then I'm real dodgy.
No teeth.
But like we were sitting in one sitting room and they were sitting in the other, and I remember I just heard them as it was premiered on YouTube. Will we watch Ryan's video? And I was like, oh shit. And it's about 10 minutes long, first Captain Lou and Pisshead.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
And I listened to the whole thing
through
vulgar and all, and not one person said a word. I could hear them all listening to it.
Rotten watching your own stuff anyway.
And to have it be that is
that's special.
Yeah, it was an ego death I experienced.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say, like, because a lot of people, and this is throwing no shade on those people either, because we all have friends who do that sort of stuff, but a lot of people be making stuff because they want to progress their career, right? And they want to, and they want to make a living out of it and stuff like that, right? And that's, we all have to make money as well. But our motivations for doing this sort of stuff is a little different, right? And that's not to say that we don't want to ever make money off it or even just get money to sustain it, right? But it comes from a very different place of like making art and being expressive and, and going on these little journeys of unknown and just having fun doing it, right? And I think that is actually kind of unique in like the world of filmmaking, and maybe in Ireland as well, but it's not that it doesn't exist, but I think it's very much the smaller percentage, like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What am I trying to say here?
Well, no, but I know what you mean, like, because someone was asking me, like, what is this for?
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, what is it for, right? Yeah.
And, like, for me, anyway, like, it's like, I feel like the writing process and then the making process, all that shit, right, is like the entire process of making these films, right up until it's finished. Maybe a little bit before it's finished, because it gets a bit like they kind of be zoned out a little bit when all the creative stuff is over and you've done all that. I feel like it's kind of close to what, those people that can meditate and they're like, I've reached nirvana, or I reach these higher states. That's what I feel like I can feel like when I do it. Because no other parts of my life can I be as free with stuff.
Yeah.
Like a little control thing sometimes, or maybe I have like certain rules in life, you know, where I'm like, I'll stick to my rules or whatever. But I feel truly in film I can go at this like complete fucking flowy kind of thing where it's like, sure, I can just whatever, and I can't be like that and anything else, you know, like you know, the other day, well, like I do this a little bit, but let's say my NCT was out, but I have to book my NCT, but it can't be like whatever, you know, like when I try to do it as much as I can, but it's like I can just go with this fucking weird flowy free thing, and I just think that's like much more important than a career.
Big time.
Anyway.
Have you tried to just cut that NCT bit out?
I'll
just remove it.
We'll do the over it.
Where's your NCT?
Yeah. Shit. Any other bits from like when we were making it, that was stuck out in your head?
I had a thing.
Good crack.
I had a thing that I was going to say there, and I keep trying to remember it.
Sorry. Oh, about making it.
Yeah. And I don't remember what it was. It was a good one though.
There was like a real like thing though happening where it was real magical, right, when we're making it, because we shot it from scene one. Oh no, we didn't. We did a lot of like, that's the other thing as well, I guess people wouldn't really know, is like, I know we're talking about this looseness and that, but the planning of this was meticulous. Like it was planned like so fucking
Calvin Doyle even had a folder with A4 sheets in plastic pockets,
and also some of the parts were highlighted,
and he's never even did that for work, man, ever once.
No, and I remember
I was shocked when he saw the folder.
I could not believe it. I have a video of him. I take a video of him.
I have the folder. I found it the other day.
Yeah, but you did good planning and good directing. And I also wanted to say, actually, this is what I wanted to say, was that Outer Heavens really just inspired me anyway to keep going with this. And I always kind of like found myself a little bit stuck. What's the word? Kind of blocking myself from wanting. You were always making films and stuff, and I always wanted to do that as well, but I kind of like I couldn't get myself there to do it. And I felt like there was a bit of a wall, a blockage, and I suppose I was standing in the way of myself, but probably like a bit like low. I don't know what to call it, laziness part of it, but also felt unreachable. But actually seeing you do Outer Heavens and then being involved in it as well actually made me be like, oh, I can do all of that stuff as well. I can do it too. And it's like really like really inspiring and motivating, and like really good for my self-esteem.
Well, you see as well though that you were a really big part of it too. I guess that probably built you up as well to see that.
Definitely, and now I'm like I kind of can't even do my normal work. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit consumed. I'm consumed with. I'm just writing loads now, and I'm like, I'm kind of
the affliction now.
Yeah, well, like I was saying to Emer the other day, I was like, I'm finally fucking doing it.
That's what we all feel like, though, I think, is it? We're finally fucking doing it. Because you know what, though, we did do it, though. Like, I felt like that, though, about Outer Heavens as well, because there was a part of me, it was like, if this is shit, that's me done. Like, I was like, let's see if I can do it or not.
Can you do it or not?
Now, like, I know, like, you know, but to me, it was like a roaring success. I remember when I came home and I started putting it together, I was like, this has far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, big time.
Because I thought it was going to be like, and I was happy with this, like, you know, really, like, while it's very low budget now, like, obviously it's still low budget, but I didn't think it would have as much of a world or a feeling as it does. Like that was my main thing. Like I just wanted that feeling, and I just think it really fucking
did it. It went way further. You're right. But now, because what you were saying, Zoe, Ryan, about like that's why. So me and Calvin found each other in college, right? And then that's why we've got this thing, because it's like it's part of this inspiration, but it's also trying to like beat each other. And that's how
competitiveness.
Yeah, that's how like I feel like me and him. I always like as soon I was like, what's he at? And then he's like, what? And then one of us does something real well, and the other one's like, shite, I may fucking, you know what I mean? So, but now it's like that's maybe like part of that thing that you just never had before, of like not the
like a partner thing or something, you know, that's something
like
that
just being
happens,
surrounded
or
by
a group.
I think it's I always explain it like this, man, right? And I always like some people are always like looking at me like, what the fuck are you on about, right? You know, like when you're in science in school, right, in secondary school, and you're learning in physics, and you're learning about how different material conducts heat. Remember that, huh?
Yeah.
Right, and it shows like what wood is like. You know, wood's not very good at conducting heat, but metal is, right? Like a metal pole or something. And there's a diagram, right? And it shows you the atoms of a metal pole, right? So imagine all these circles in this metal pole, right? And it shows if you heat up one side of it, that one goes red. But because it's really good at conducting heat, the next one turns red, and then the next one, and all the atoms just start bouncing off each other, and they start going red. I think about that in creativity, especially in a group of people. It's who you surround yourself with. If you're surrounded by people who aren't like doing stuff or pushing things, or just not even trying to be inspiring, because it's not like we're going around going, we're trying to inspire everyone today. But if you're not around that, those little atoms will never turn red. Whereas when you are in it, you can't even help it. It's just coming out of you. Yeah.
And as well, though, I do feel like from, let's say, Holy God days to now, like I remember even when we were going to do the first Captain Lou and Pisshead, like I remember having a real doubt, but I know there's like a healthy doubt. But I had like an unhealthy doubt. And when I look at that between there and now, like it's like two completely different people. You know what I mean? Like I feel so much more like sure. Still the doubt thing is there.
It's there.
But like I don't think that. I think the doubt thing would still be there if it wasn't for like Our Heavens and Millie's Maxwell Magic and like being able to actually see people that I'm able to actually ring or see or whatever. Making things. And it's a real thing, like wanting to be able to, or even like wanting to be someone who makes things. You know what I mean? Like that,
or
like,
that you can be someone
that you can, because
makes things.
Yeah, because if you go through years of like being like in your head, like I want to make things, and then you don't. That's not good for you either.
No, because then you just convince yourself you're not one of those people, like, right?
Exactly.
And the only way to do it is by making it. It's a fucking paradox.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then like if you can make it and then it's good, it's like what the fuck?
Yeah, and I think the good thing comes if you feel satisfied in a. I remember when we started out to Outer Heavens, I was like, if it's 60% good, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
It just has to be a little bit good.
Yeah.
To be happy with that. But one thing as well is though, because the other day I was making a video, because I've started my press tour now of Outer Heavens, so this is just kicking off now, everybody, so I'm going to follow the press tour and with another YouTube video coming out,
When is that video coming out?
I don't know. But it's just part of the press tour anyway. Just go onto my website for my press tour. But the other day I was doing a video and I was like, I'll go to where we shot one of the scenes, and then I went out and it's really lovely looking because it's all wild garlic now. It's all white. But anyway, here I was just standing in the middle of the woods, like, because I was wearing a mask for a little bit of it, and then I had a suit on, and then it was like video myself on my own for like an hour or so, and like people walking by, I was like, "Isn't this so weird?" But I think it's really fun because I remember when I was younger, like when Jackass came out and that, like we used to like
try and do Jackass,
messing around, maybe doing Party Boy, you do that, or we do things. I remember. Joey O'Neill, I used to pretend to hit Joey. He'd like hold his hand out and it'd sound like he's getting hit, and then he'd fall over and he'd be like, "Oh!" and we'd wait like someone was walking by and we'd do it. But it's like that used to be so exciting to do
put
that.
On a little show, right?
Yeah, a little show, because people would be like, "Oh Jesus!" Or Joey used to run and fall, like he'd just fall and be like, "Oh!" and like it was so like exciting to do that. But a part of this is a bit like that, like putting the masks on, go do it. It's because when you're doing it, you're like, "What the fuck am I doing?" It's like a fun performance.
But it makes you like it gets rid of any of that kind of, a lot of that self-criticism stuff, doesn't it? Like say you going out to make the video on your own and the thing, like if you were 22 you would, you can't do it, or like 17, because you're too worried about everybody.
It takes you out your own head a little bit. If you would just sit around and think about it for so long, and you'd be like, "That's not doing that," whereas you can't just go do it.
Well, like when we Las Vegas plug.
This is Ryan's Las Vegas press tour.
So that concludes the Outer Heavens portion of the podcast. Now into booking Las Vegas, and if you want a promo code, but me and Emer got when we were doing the photographs, right? Like, we were really good at doing the photos, right? And like, we weren't like nervous or anything. And your mom was like, "Oh my god, you like," was kind of like blown away that we weren't all nervous and we were like real good. But like, Emer was like, "If you think about it, we're kind of like media trained." But like, it gets like, I don't have any embarrassment anymore. Where I used to be riddled with
shame. It's shamelessness.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing.
I don't even know if it. Yeah, I feel like it's not even describable, because it's just like, it's like nothing. Like,
But you know, actually, because I wasn't really thinking about this, but the other day this thing happened, right? You know, like, the world we live in, obviously everyone is like,
that's it. I mean, everyone's at it. Like,
you think of your appearance though, right? A lot, right? You know, like, there'll be certain vanity things. Everyone obviously striving to look good, right? But I was doing the video the other day, and I was like doing something weird, and I was like, I'm so ugly in this, right? I was like,
kind of enjoyed
I was like, that's funny, and I started laughing. But I remember that happened in college, because I always thought, you always were like, isn't that thing cool? I'd be like, that's not cool at all. But then after a while, I'm like, it is kind of cool, because you would always like, you're the first person I met who like kind of thought things were cool, like
shit things
that were really shit. And then for hanging around with you, I developed that taste myself. But that kind of happened the other day. But I remember that happening in college, and I was only young, and it felt really freeing, because I was like, oh, look how ugly I am, but like, that's so funny.
I was only saying to Emer the other day, like, I was like, I've ever been in the gym, and it's kind of like, I'd hate to be like real ripped now, like real muscly, like, it'd be so fucking lame. Like, do you know, like, you're real like sexy, and
you're just embracing how much.
I thought you were gonna say that. I said, he said to Emer the other day, how ugly Calvin is.
That actually reminds me. Look at this hideous cunt.
This ugly bastard's doing a podcast.
How did that ugly cunt make a film? We need to get clavicular on the podcast.
He would hate us. He would hate us.
I think he would. He would misunderstand us more than maybe or most people. That
the ugly cunt make a film. Better than laughing at your own jokes.
Very good. Looked Maxon. Fuck. Did you remember any stories from when we made it? I was just trying to think there, because I think I like hearing that stuff when people were talking about like when they made things or whatever, and I just try to think like what
the wind. You remember the first scene we did?
And so like kind of weird. Yeah, so I actually, the more things that we do, the more times I actually believe that something happens with like whatever energy we put out comes back to us or whatever.
Yeah, I do
like,
too.
Which is really strange, right? Like, so even tonight, like when I checked the weather, it was supposed to be like piss and rain like 2 days ago. When I checked it, and I was like, we'll go down to port, and then we might be like in Ryan and Emer's bed, like doing this, you know, like sitting on the edge of the bed being like, Emer's asleep, but
girl time.
But then, you know, then it's like fucking lovely. But I feel like a lot of things like that happened when we went to make the film, that these little kind of, maybe it's actually just in your own head about being open to things and being like, that's cool when it does happen. But especially like what you're saying, so we kind of shot it in the summertime, and at the end of summer, right? And we were out in the kind of middle of fields and stuff, and there was something that I always liked in film, especially in that Kubrick film Barry Lyndon, right? And they shot that in Ireland, and I remember reading or watching something about the cinematographer talking about like the light constantly changing in summertime in Ireland, because it can be very sunny at one point, and then the cloud goes over the sun and it becomes really dark, and it's really hard to expose for that sort of stuff. And that's something that's like in the film, that you can see the sun like rolling through like the frames and stuff, and it changes so dramatically, and especially that with the wind, then like it was almost like perfectly timed to change light and change wind just when we needed it. And it was like, I don't know how someone explains that, but
yeah, but like definitely someone would think people are going to think you had a big fan.
Yeah.
a big fan.
The first scene.
That was the first scene. Yeah.
And then these white, like
these little flowers.
Yeah.
Not daffodil. What do you call them fucking things?
Dandelions.
Dandelions.
Is that? I don't even think they were
Maybe
dandelions.
not.
They were something.
I don't know what they were.
Because they were kind of big, like, and they just kind of a part where the song and the dance were kind of like coming to this kind of climax. Then all these little things started floating through the thing, and it's like, well, what, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of like you had a weather forecast, like, right, the wind's going to start, the dandelions are going to flow.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting, because like when people watch stuff like that, they'll be like, how did you do that? And it's like, well, we don't know.
Even some of the wide shots with the light is just travelling along the whole thing, and it looks crazy.
Yeah, so cool.
And then Brian's music with it, like, is like, it's mixing so well, it's like nuts. But yeah, it was like being so open that, but there's been loads of fucking shit that
weird things
felt like it all just was meant to be, the whole thing, really.
There's something I love about Outer Heavens is it's like a capsule of Port Arlington lore. There's like the history of the maddest stories from left, right and centre. And another, I think I said it the last day as well, was like I think people from so I have a book inside. A lot of people from Port Arlington have a book. It's Port Arlington from from 1900 to 2000.
Yeah.
Right. And I have it inside, and I was reading it there a little while ago, and like I found it all really inspiring. Like they'd have poems from a lad like in 1920 or something, and then I was like, oh, when they do another one of these books, Outer Heavens will be in it, and someone,
cool.
it's like someone from here will want to make a film, and they'd be like, oh look, because that's what I said the last time. I was like, I'd never actually seen locations like that in the Midlands in Ireland, framed like that.
Yeah.
Never seen that before in any film.
Yeah.
And it actually, and there was another thing as well that I talked about the last time, was the timelessness of the stuff like that as a concept. Like I had never heard that before you said it, and that like has opened up. I think that's my whole writing style now.
Yeah, cool.
I can't think of a thing that's not because it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's much more exciting.
Yeah. And the wonder.
Yeah, I agree. And like even the way the guys speak in it, like no one speaks like that, and you'd almost need subtitles maybe potentially or something at some stage. But and like there's it's like,
I think it's almost like looking at Ireland as a foreign country.
Yeah.
Like, but that's probably just based off like what we're used to seeing Ireland look like. Do you know what I mean? And it's probably the most the most Irish like thing. You know, it's so.
But like I remember you said, it might as well be a foreign language film, really. Like,
that's great. It's so interesting.
Like to someone who lives in Arkansas or Las Vegas.
But even that as well, like the like you're saying, that because of the timelessness, there's loads of different things that we learn making it, that like that the timelessness thing. I'm like, that's same with me. I just want to do that all the time. But also even the way it's shot, like I really enjoyed the restrictions of it, and that old kind of style cinema or filmmaking that I know it's really exciting. Yeah, maybe you'd put a little bit more movement in, but the real excitement of how well together you can put something that is like shot so simply. There's like a confidence to it, even though we weren't trying that, but it's really nice confidence.
I think it's the kind of unknown again though, because we wouldn't have ever shot anything really like that before for anything, and then it's like we don't really know what's gonna happen with this. Like if you were to lean kind of on what you're used to doing, like it would be very different. Like what you're really comfortable doing, maybe. Is that killing you, that smoke, man?
Oh no.
Yeah. I was just thinking, it's a shame there's not a camera on you there with that smoke and flowing. You're
beautiful,
cool,
beautiful.
Yeah, you're not ugly. That's a lot of bollocks.
Hey, do you know what was one big thing though as well that just to bring up is the continuity thing.
Yeah.
The continuity
Calvin's
thing.
bugbearing continuity segment.
This is the pet peeves.
Pet peeves of
Pet
director
peeves.
Calvin Doyle on the press tour of Our Heavens. Tell us.
Light him up, Doyle.
No, but you were talking about that fucking video about continuity.
Yeah.
When we were doing Our Heavens. So one of the big things that I believe would turn off anyone making Our Heavens is the fear of continuity.
Yeah.
But just before that, Connor kept saying continuity doesn't matter, and
But only because I watched the YouTube video.
You watched this YouTube video.
Really
No,
convinced me. It
to
was
a certain
great
extent.
essay. Yeah.
to a certain, obviously it matters, right?
Yeah.
Like story wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really learned that it does not matter in the movie, and we just threw it out, and that made it easier to do the fucking thing. Where because the days were nuts, weren't they? It was like what time? Like 9 a.m. till fucking 1 at night or something like that.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have got it done without that. But yeah, the continuity thing, without throwing that out the window, I think it would have been a disaster.
Why? What about specifically do you think were like a continuity person would have been like, no, we're not doing that?
I'd say the entire film.
Captain Lou's entire performance, right?
Oh yeah, he goes from really sprightly to
like
being fucked.
I actually had a think to myself, right? And I was like, you know, if someone looks at Our Heavens, it's like maybe they think to themselves, that's a good actor, maybe he can be in my movie. Unless he's like you, I would not do it, because they'd just be like, why is he a different character in every scene?
Which is funny because I don't even see that.
No, it's more like
yeah, but that's because life is not. Life is, there's no this continuity thing. Like life. Yeah. Oh no. You know, I was talking to my uncle Pat before, and he was saying like, yeah, like I can't remember, he's referencing some director, but they were saying like, okay, it's raining here, and then when we walk over there it's not raining, and then everyone's freaking out, but it's like, that's life.
Yeah,
sometimes
that actually
it's
does
raining,
happen.
sometimes it's not raining.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Like,
or you have a cup of tea in your hand, and then the next scene you don't have a cup of tea in your hand. Like, so fucking what? What do you want us to do? Video you're putting out, film you fucking putting down the tea for the continuity freaks out there that want to, like, it doesn't. It just doesn't matter.
Sometimes maybe that feeds back into what you're talking about seeing other people doing things, because sometimes when you see someone of like a standard, or even just anyone who's making anything do something, then you're like, well, if they got away with it, I'm doing it as well.
Oh, 100%.
I mean?
It gives you like
kind of permission to do it.
Yes.
Because, and that's probably from creating things as well, but that was like what that video essay was saying. It was Scorsese's editor, which I can't remember her name right now, but yeah, she was like, I'm not editing for continuity, I'm editing for feeling. Like, and it was all the cuts were based on feeling. So someone, like you said, was smoking a cigar, and then the next scene the cigar was gone. It was like, I don't care if it makes, I'm not cutting it just because you want to see them putting down the cigar or whatever. So it's like, well, if they can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, and it's like, if you're being a real stickler for that, you're like, the thing that matters is that it's scientific. It's an art form, right?
Yeah, but people do get really caught up with that. Like, they get fucking freaked out with it, and I think it's because of the anxiety of making the thing that then they'll fixate on something that actually isn't the main driving fucking factor of the whole film.
So if you're listening to this, just do what you want. We did it, so you can get away with it.
Forget what they're telling you in them hokey fucking art fucking film schools.
Like, the editing part is my favourite part initially, but after this project it's not my favourite part anymore.
You'll be your worst part again.
The writing and the performing is very good, and the shooting, but the editing is fun. But I do really enjoy it, so I instantly put it all together. I think I put it together really quick, actually. Like the first draft of it. When I'm doing editing, though, I work really closely with Ali. She like does help me. Like I just show her stuff and see what she feels. Anytime I ever edit anything, I always show Ali, and she did not like it a bit. Right? It was because it was shit. The first edit was shit, right? So the pacing was really weird, and like the initial thing, I was like, this is good, but then when we sat down and actually watched it as a thing, we were like, oh, and there was a big lull in the room at certain parts. So anyway, then we were just like, that needs to all go, we need to get fucking rid of all that stuff. So actually Ali was like, cut this, cut that, and I was like, yeah, you're right, actually.
That's always a really good process, I think, is to watch it with someone else. Because you can feel like, you can
feel when you're like, this time
you're really just like, you want to say, oh, get better in a minute, and then that's the bit to go then.
Yeah, like this was like the only time I felt really bad about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And but basically what had happened was when we shot the movie, I think the first day we were shooting something, and then I kind of got insecure, and I was like, I better write a bit more. I better write a few more scenes. So I went and wrote some scenes, but you know what they were like explaining a little bit. The dialogue was a bit explaining, because I think I had put together a little bit of the film. I was like, this is really, I really like this. I don't know, I just got insecure. So I wrote these extra scenes, and when I put them in, they're kill the movie. So what actually happened was the edit was actually bringing it back to what it originally was, without adding more. Those extra scenes, which is really interesting because I always used to find that anyway. Sometimes you go back to what the original fucking thing was, and that's actually what it was. So we did all of that, and then it started to feel really good, and kept paring it back, and I even pared it back more and more than I thought I was going to do, and I cut out some really important parts that I thought were really important, but it just started to flow really well then. And the process took really long because we had to overdub it then, obviously, as well. So what I really enjoyed was when I had it kind of finished, gave it over to you to colour grade it and add in like those really cool edits. Then I get back, I'm like, oh, cool bits. What the fuck? This is unreal. Because I was so used to looking at it in like this default black and white colour, and it just explodes. And then one thing I learned from the edit is I think from now on I'm going to edit the full film and then get someone to do the music. Yeah. Because I've been working with Brian on the music, and he had actually seen what the music should be much sooner than I had, because I was still in the air about what way it should be a little bit. I was struggling to kind of figure out what way the music should go, and he had created a good bit of music, and then I went off and edited it more, and then I came back and I said, let's do the music. But then I started to use his old the finished thing is a lot of the old music as well, because it's just like when it comes to life, you see the colour and you see the overdub put in, and then the music comes on. Now it makes real sense, because before I felt like the music was nearly too good for the way I had it, because it was all just a recording of on the day, so the wind's blowing real loud. You can't hear what the lads are saying or anything like that, so you nearly need all the polish done. Do you know what I mean? That weird, like when it's so unfinished, even the way the colour grading is and everything else, that when you put the music on, it feels out of place or something. You're like,
yeah, because it's kind of throwing you off, because at that point, like, you're still not like 100% sure that you know what it is or what it needs to be, so you're kind of, you're still kind of painting bits and kind of being like, oh, I don't know, like, is this kind of working? So it's throwing you off even to a point where you don't that you're not ready for it.
Yeah, it's like not ready for it, because I remember even at one part I was like, I'm not gonna put any music on it.
Yeah.
And it was only then when we got all the stuff back from you, and then I put some music on, I was like, whoa.
Now it's like, makes sense, even though it's probably the same stuff, right? Like,
it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff.
Start, it's just like, it's how it sits when you feel it. It's like what you were talking about last time about, feeling your way through most of it, and if something's kind of annoying you, you're like, oh, you can't even look at the rest of it because that noise, or or this is whatever. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, the whole edit was that, though, feeling it through. That's all we're really working on. Then not being afraid to rewrite the movie in the edit as well, because there's that stuff I just completely got out of the removed. But yeah, no, that was it. But it just took a long time to get done, because while the shooting can be done very quick and all that stuff, the other thing, everyone has to line up with who can do what and how can we do this.
And it's very time consuming as well to do that. Like,
I even think you have to stop looking at it as well. So, like, I don't know if I'll watch it again now for a few years. Like, even the screening, like, I don't know. Like, I might just
watch on the big screen.
Go out and have a pint of beer or something.
Watch it on the big screen. I actually get quite nervous actually watching the things when people are when there's people watching the stuff.
Feel a bit.
Yeah, not that I think they'll like it. It's more like I feel like technically I'm like shit.
Yeah, that's the problem. No, because you're in technical zone, so that's why I don't enjoy watching it. Because I'm there. Oh, to see that 2 seconds too quick.
yeah. Sometimes
shit again.
Yeah. It's hard to not like look at it like that, right? You know, but no one ever sees that.
But I think you have to give it time to get out of the technical thing, because you're just in the technical mode. Because what I think you're in is you're actually in fix-it mode. You're in fix-it mode for so long.
Where's my snag list?
Oh, I didn't fix that. You didn't fix that one. You fucking left that one like that, Dial.
That's ruined the whole thing.
Bastards. Fucking always do this.
You've done it again.
Fucking told you, I knew it, you lazy bastard. That's kind of what feels like me watching it anyway.
Calvin, you sent it to Tom Green, the famous Canadian comedian, and he watched the trailer and he shared it and he said, "I will watch this film."
Yeah, he said, "I will watch this film for sure."
Wow.
Yeah, so no, but when we did the trailer, I was like, right, fuck this, I'm gonna plug this to all. No, but it wasn't actually just plugged to everyone. I made like a list of people that I felt like had kind of inspired us to make it, or I even like inadvertently inspired us to do so. So I actually sent it to, and it's all kinds of people. But he was like a big inspiration for me, because around that same time where we start making stuff again, I remember over COVID, he kind of started his YouTube channel again. He was making these vlogs and podcasts, and I was kind of like, I'm gonna fucking want to do that, like, and that's cool. And he really got me back. And then I started being like, there was one other time as well where I was a bit like, I remember this wasn't that long ago, it was maybe 2 years ago, but I'd been working loads, and I kind of got burnt out, right? And I was feeling a bit down and shitty. I remember I was going around telling everyone I'm depressed. Do you remember I was like that? I'm depressed. No, do you remember that? No.
Calvin's blue period.
I was very
this ugly cunt is depressed.
It's always the last thing he needs.
So ugly and sad.
This ugly cunt's never making a feature film by the time he's 34.
This cunt's going to be 50 before the time he has a film.
Ugly bastard.
Ugly sad bastard. So, but I actually was a bit sad. Anyway, I was going for these runs, but I was listening to Tom Green all the time, and he's making me feel nice.
Yeah.
Listening to him at night time, watching his videos, watching him out in his barn and that. So anyway, when I got the trailer done, I was like, here, I'm sending it to Tom Green, being like, here, man, thanks for the, like, fucking just making all this shit. And I've liked him since I was a kid. Like, obviously, it was huge when we were in the 90s and that. But yeah, so then he actually wrote back, and he's like, I think he commented underneath it and was like, I'll watch this. And yeah, he shared it on his thing and that. So I must send him the fucking...
We 100% need to send him the full film now for him to watch, because you're totally right. And again, back to the inspirational thing, it's like he is kind of like one of our guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or we're kind of like one of his guys, really, because he's doing the kind of DIY, kind of lo-fi, being like, I'm just gonna do it, you know what I mean? Because like, isn't he the guy who kind of started podcasting? Really? He was like, I'm just gonna set up a little, multi-camera thing and start streaming on the internet, and then like podcasting has blew up since then, and he probably did it about 20 years ago. So, and
it was all from him. Like I remember I was talking to my Uncle Pat about that Bellatar, is it? Bellatar? Yeah. And I was talking about the movies. He makes it really long. I think it's Satan Tango or something. I think it's, I probably pronounced that incorrect.
7 hours long.
Yeah. But it's like 7 hours long. And I was talking to him, and I said, it's great. Like, and I was like, why is that so good? And he's like, because he's showing people that there's other ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Like, there's another way. Like, who says that you have to do it that way? And that's kind of like what Tom Green was doing, because he was kind of going against TV and that, and he's just like, I'm going to start my own TV in my house, TV channel. So yeah, he's one of those guys, and I feel like hopefully we are showing other people that there's other ways of doing things.
And he does like a bit of everything, isn't it? So
yeah,
like he had his talk show, but then remember he's doing rapping, and he's unreal at rapping.
He's really good at rapping.
And with Exhibit.
Yeah.
I'm coming around.
Oh
man, Kylie was
look it up
for months. And then even
he even makes beats and that.
And his podcast with Norm MacDonald has got me
amazing.
Like, if I was ever feeling blue, I've honestly I've rewatched it probably 100 times. Like I used to go to sleep to it. I'd put it on and go to sleep to it. Norm, R.I.P. and big Tom Green.
Love Tom Green, because he was on Joe Rogan then as well. I remember really, and during COVID. And I remember, I think he got kind of drunk or real high.
Stoned.
But I remember just falling asleep listening to it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
He's just
I think it's I really like the idea of what you were talking about last time about just going doing stuff, like, because now he's like a farmer as well, and it's like that kind of I find that very inspirational as a wannabe
You're
farmer.
kind of turned into a farmer too.
Yeah, but I just mean, and that's, you know, that's like a very kind of silly little insignificant thing, but it's just the fact that you could just go do that. Like, you could just go, he just went and got his farm, and he got his, I know obviously you can't just go buy a farm, but you know, he got his chickens, and now he's just like, he's got his mule Fanny and stuff, and it's like it's just like it's like you can just do stuff. I think that's the most inspirational thing about it,
100%.
Especially maybe creative people. I don't know, like, sometimes we don't think we can do stuff like that.
No, you don't think you can do stuff because, like, you think sometimes there has to be a weird motive for doing things. Well, even he had made this vlog, and it's like 4 hours long. It's 2 parts. It's a full film of him like traveling America.
With his dog. But
one thing that he did on it was he made the soundtrack himself. Like, you know how hard that would be.
Oh yeah, because he had a mixing studio in the van, right?
Yeah. So like, and he's like, I'm going to make the soundtrack for this myself. He gets probably there's no monetary thing. He really doesn't care. He does not care.
Stuff because you want it.
And that's I remember that as well, because he was like learning how to use his camera. Yeah. Kind of, he bought a camera, and that's kind of what he was doing the video about as well. Yeah, it's great. I love that kind of independent spirit of just doing what you want.
But I sent it to loads, and a lot of people got back to me as well that you wouldn't think. And
Margaret Qualley,
Margaret,
James McAvoy,
Margaret, not quite.
I ruined it.
So, but the trailer got loads of views though, and the YouTube one is like 17,000 or something, and then the Instagram one was that really big? I can't remember. 20 something.
Yeah.
So
so it got
fucking pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think.
We could just get all of those in a cinema.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the numbers are great, aren't they? They're one thing, but even with the last podcast, like 200 and something people watched it. Like 200 and something people in a room watching something would be phenomenal. Like, so
it's a small village.
Yeah,
people.
And it's nice to see a couple of guys or people that comment on it that they
would have never known us before that, and they obviously don't know us now either, but they've seen that thing, and then they're like, oh, this is kind of cool. So it's like, it's just about finding your guys, like our girls. And
but that one guy said, I was looking for Outer Heavens and the Bog Monster everywhere.
Yeah, he was trying to see them. I would send it to him. I would send it to Sam Flora, is it? Sam Flora. Sam Flora. If you send us your email, we will send you a link to watch it.
Absolutely.
Well,
private screening.
This is like, we're going 2 hours. If he gets into 2 hours of this,
then he's really fan. Big fandom.
We'll have to wrap it up because Ryan is hungry and his stomach keeps making noises.
I'm starting to lose consciousness.
Oh, he's starting to disappear again. Oh no.
You just look like a big chicken thigh to me.
Well, I'm not adding me as a chicken thigh. That'd be too hard.
Do it. Just put the image of it.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it, is it?
Yeah, that's it. I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like you said, in the last episode, we said we'd do this every 2 weeks, but we're not doing that. We're gonna do it every month. We're gonna do a podcast every month. So, yeah. Calvin, would you like to put a scene of Outer Heavens next?
Yeah. Let's put a scene
Bang.
in.
The very fucking land Daddy worked his whole life. But next minute, the fucking lightning hit the ground in front of me. I was fucking in shock. And next minute, another fucking ball hit me right in the chest and knocked me on my hole. I thought I was fucking dying. The next minute, the heavens opened up above me. And wasn't Daddy looking down on me? And I said, no! Daddy, please don't take me! I'm not ready to go yet! And he just looked down on me and said, you're to help that young one! Now if that's not enough of a sign, I don't know what the fuck is! Now come on!
Fuck!